Hello there! My name is Kat and I am one of Miss Fiddler's best friends. And she told me that you're learning about reptiles this week and that you might want to learn about chameleons. And so I want you to meet somebody today. This is Calypso and she's a veiled chameleon. She's my pet and she's 5 years old. Chameleons are a type of reptile, and more specifically, they are lizards. Reptiles never stop getting bigger their whole entire lives. And so as they get bigger, they shed, which you can see there's a little bit right at the corner of her eye here of her shed, left over from the last time that she shed. And it's basically like changing clothes. She takes off her outer layer and then she has a fresh layer underneath. There's 171 known different species of chameleon, and they live all over the world. They live in South America, in Africa, in Asia, the Middle East, and parts of Florida. Calypso is one species of chameleon, a veiled or a Yemen chameleon. There are rainforests on the border of Yemen and Saudi Arabia where these types of chameleons live in the wild. Now, other name for them, the veiled chameleon, is because of this little ridge atop her head. You see how it kind of like sticks up? Now, the reason that she has that ridge like that is to collect water. So you can see it will run down her face, down to her mouth, so that she can drink. And the reason that she needs that is because unlike animals that drink from ponds or from standing water, like cows or horses, or even like how dogs and cats drink out of bowls, or you and me drink out of cups, she likes to drink fresh water that falls from the sky or water off of her plants. So she'll like lick the little droplets up. They probably don't want to expose themselves to danger by going onto the ground, and so it's safer for them that way because they like to stay up in trees, they like to stay up really high, and they like to hide amongst the leaves to try and stay away from any predators. Because as you can see, they don't move super quickly. Another thing about how chameleons get around is they, when they're scared especially, will try to move like a leaf. Now she's not scared right now because she's really comfortable with me, but when she's a little nervous, she'll do this thing where she'll rock. She'll be like, I'm a leaf, I'm a leaf. Don't eat me, I'm just a leaf. Part of why they also don't move quickly is because they hunt really slow. They hunt for bugs and other small reptiles. Now, the cool thing about chameleons and how they hunt is that they have a super long tongue. It sits down here in the bottom of their mouth, and they can shoot it out the whole length of their body, sometimes even longer, to try and catch something, grab it, so they can eat it when they're hungry. Now, Calypso also likes to eat fruits and vegetables. She likes kale and spinach, and she likes bananas, and she does not like strawberries. Not at all. Which, I assume that's because bugs in the wild that are red are usually like not safe to eat. So that's my guess why she doesn't like strawberries. Maybe she just doesn't think they taste good. Who knows? What is it? Do you think they don't taste good? I think they taste good. I love strawberries. Do you like strawberries? Chameleons also have some cool other features. They have their little feet where they have toes, 2 toes on one side and 3 on the other. Can you spot them? Let me move my finger over here. You can see there's the 3 toes on that side and 3 toes on the outside there, and then 2 toes on the inside. She's reaching for the camera. Her eyes also move independent of each other, and I'm sure you noticed that, where they'll look at different things. Now, what she does, or her type of chameleon does, is they have one lead eye, and that's the primary eye that's like looking for where they're going to go next, or like looking at the thing that they're interested in. And then their other eye just kind of like roves around and watches out for anything that they might want to interact with, or any predators, or where they want to go next. Now you know a chameleon is really focused on something when both of their eyes look at it at the same time. Like when she's looking at food, she'll put both of her eyes on it and focus in. And then they also have a tail. They use this tail to help them climb, to help support themselves, to help center themselves, and sometimes to catch themselves when they fall, which I've seen Calypso do. They can change color, and they actually change color for 2 reasons. One, to help regulate their temperature. Because they're cold-blooded, they need the sun to keep them warm, because they can't make themselves warm without it. And so they'll turn darker colors so that they can absorb more sunlight more easily. And then they'll turn lighter colors when they're feeling too warm and they need to cool off and they don't want to absorb as much sunlight. Another reason why they change color is to communicate what they're feeling and communicate their emotions, or tell someone else what they need. Now, in the wild, that would be communicating with other chameleons, but at home, that's her telling me that she needs things. Either that she's cold, that she's warm, that she's curious, that she's excited, that she's scared. Like when she's scared, she turns dark colors and she puffs up her little chin. And when she's comfortable, she's usually about this color. Now they change color, but the way that they change color is actually through flexing. So I don't know if you've ever had it where when you feel a feeling, your body tenses up, or you get really excited and you just like have so much energy. So when she feels those feelings, the muscles in her body flex, which changes the color of the light that's being refracted off of her body, which gives her the different colors and patterns that you see, and is how she expresses herself. Now she's 5 years old, which means she's an adult chameleon. And something adult female chameleons do is lay eggs. It works kind of like how chickens or birds do, where they lay eggs regularly. She lays eggs once every 3 to 6 months. And I have a special tree just for her that she digs down into around the roots to lay her eggs in a safe place, because chameleons like to hide their eggs underground to keep them safe. It's kind of cool. When a female chameleon is getting ready to lay her eggs, she actually turns a rather brown color, and that is why a lot of people assume that chameleons camouflage themselves on purpose. But in reality, although it is a type of camouflage, she's not changing her color on purpose to brown. That's just naturally what happens when she's ready to lay her eggs, which is how we know she's not ready to lay eggs right now, because she's pretty green and she hasn't been digging at the bottom of her habitat, signaling to us that it's time to lay eggs. Now, Calypso really loves to watch me work. She hangs out in her habitat here, which is in my office. And she also likes to watch TV. Sometimes I'll take her out in the living room and she'll climb along the couch and she'll just sit there and watch TV with me. She'll even react to it sometimes, change colors to show her emotions, or puff up her little chin. I'd never really anticipated how expressive or emotional reptiles would be, because I grew up with dogs and cats and other little fluffy pets. And after having Calypso, I really realized that reptiles have a lot of feelings. And they like to express them, and they like certain people and they don't like other people, and they like certain things, they don't like other things. Now, speaking of personalities, Calypso has a pretty rare personality, which is that she likes to be around people. She likes to be held, she likes to climb, she likes to interact, and not all chameleons like that. Most chameleons don't make for as friendly of pets as her. They don't snuggle, they're really fragile, so you can't crush them, you can't hug them, you don't want to squish them. But they do feel fun to touch. They're little scales, and they are cool to look at and fun to feed. They just need a lot of care and a lot of maintenance, and they're very dependent on their owners for their survival, because they don't have all of the natural resources indoors that they would have outdoors. Now, if you're wondering, her claws that she has, they're not very sharp, so they don't hurt. And although she's strong enough that she could pinch me if she wanted to, she's not doing that to grip and hold on. She's just squeezing tight enough to hold on to me. Although if she catches you on your nose, or she grabs onto your glasses and pulls them off, that could be trouble. She also really likes to sit atop people's heads because it's the tallest place in the room. Now, do you want to feed her with me? We can take her into the habitat, give her some food, and give her some water. Come with me. She's trying to escape out of her habitat. Now, chameleons are omnivorous, or they're omnivores, just like we as humans sometimes are, which means they eat both meat and they eat plants. Now, some of the plants in her habitat, like this one, are some of her favorite to eat, and that's why it doesn't have very many leaves left. But today, we're gonna feed her some super worms. So we're gonna set these down in the bottom of her habitat. And she is gonna climb down to eat them. I'm gonna help her so she doesn't have to climb all the way around. Look at her little hands trying to grip my fingers. All right, now that she's getting onto her plant here, I'm gonna show you how cool her tongue is when she eats. Here you go, Calypso. Look at this. Real quick motion. Boom! Grab that worm. All right, we're gonna do another one in slow motion. Another thing that I have to do to take care of Calypso is give her water, which I use this little sprayer thing to recreate rain so that she can drink the water that falls down her face, just like a veiled chameleon is known for. So she also will drink it sometimes off of the leaves and other things around her. Let's see if we can get her to drink some water today. She's probably thirsty. Here she goes. As you can see, she's drinking the water from the plants and the water that's falling down the front of her face. You can see she's using her little tongue to drink. And she closes her eyes because the water sprays into her eyes and she doesn't want to get water in her eyes. Ooh, did you see that little droplet go into her mouth? There was another one. Now, most chameleons aren't as friendly as Calypso is. Most chameleons like to keep to themselves, kind of like a goldfish. They just like to be in their habitat or be out in nature and do their own thing. They're not very social creatures either. They don't usually hang out together. They don't usually chill in groups. They just pick a tree and make that tree theirs, or pick an area and make that theirs, and they stay there. Thank you for watching this video about chameleons. I hope the rest of your day goes better than expected.